And there we have it. Oh, I forgot the applause. There's Robin Frederick joining me. Robin just said, I'm amazed that you're doing all this today. Trust me, Robin, nobody's more amazed than I.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, you did such a great job at the Road Rally, and I'm really happy that all the people who are here today that couldn't be with you at the Road Rally can at least enjoy. I gave Robin a new moniker at the Road Rally. She's now the Sigmund Freud of song analysis. Because she goes deep, baby. She really does. It's amazing. I've known Robin for, 15, 20 years or something. Every time she gets up on that stage, I'm like, how does she do this? And I've known all the, quote unquote song coaches, but you never pull standard stuff out of like a little bag of, I've got my 12 things that I always say. It's just like pure analysis every time you do it. So
I just let the songs talk to me. Somebody called me the song whisperer recently.
Yeah, you are.
It's like that. You just let the song talk to you, and then you say, okay, here's where I felt this, here's where I dropped out, that's all I do.
Yeah.
So I just verbalize it. And that's what the screeners, and when I was at Taxi, that was what I was teaching the screeners to do. They had all the knowledge about music and the music business, but sometimes you can't verbalize it, and that's the trick of it. It's just to be able to say, this is what I felt when you did that. All
right, so I've got one person telling me that there's no audio. Does everybody else hear us talking? I think Jesse, try your volume knob. All right. It's just Jesse. Gotcha. All right. Okay, so Robin Frederick, as many of you know her, I'm going to read the bio anyway. She's the author of the top-selling songwriting books, including Shortcuts to Hit Songwriting and Shortcuts to Songwriting for Film and Television, or Film and TV, as we say in the industry. She's reached millions of aspiring songwriters through her highly rated websites and online courses. Her songwriting video series on YouTube has been seen by more than 1 million viewers. That's a lot. Robin has written and produced hundreds of songs for television, record albums, and theater. She's also the executive producer of over 60 albums and a former director of A&R for Rhino Records. She was also a highly valued member of Taxi's A&R team and our head screener for, a couple of years, I think?
7 years.
You were the head screener for 7 years?
7 years, yeah.
Holy smokes. How did I turn that into 2?
It just went so fast.
It
what
did.
Can I say? It felt like 2 years, yeah.
Wow.
No, 7 years.
Wow. And I'm proud to say that I published her 2 best-selling books, Shortcuts to Hit Songwriting and Shortcuts to Songwriting for Film and TV, both of which will be for sale in the ballroom at the end of this presentation. So if you can get your butt down to that ballroom at the Westin LAX, we will not be there.
Yeah, right. We sold out, I think, of everything.
I was surprised how long the line was. I really was. I was happy about it, but wow. Because normally at the Road Rally, many of the Road Rally goers already have your books.
They come by all the time, come by the booth and say, I already have your books.
Right.
And they'll say things like, I haven't finished reading your book yet. And I'll go, don't finish it.
Yeah.
Just, read bits, read a shortcut and then go write a song. I don't want you to sit there and read my book to the end and then write songs. Don't do that.
Wow. Well, today, for those of you who weren't at the Road Rally, we asked you to send in songs, and Liz just randomly picked a bunch and put them on a playlist. We're not taking them. There's no preference. I'm looking at the list.
And we're not looking at them for universal lyrics. We're just looking at them for what they are.
Yeah.
Let the song speak to you.
And good. I don't know anybody on here. It's not true. I know one person. But anyway, I'm just going to take them in the order that we got them. And the first one we're going to hear is called Running Wild by Eric Demel. And I need to get back to the top because I actually...
And just so you know, folks, I've already listened to these. I went through them, and I've listened to them and read the lyrics all the way through. So sometimes I'll refer to verse 2. We're going to listen to a verse and chorus, just one verse and chorus. But sometimes I'll refer to verse 2 because I've already listened to everything. Yeah.
is approaching, and still I don't know which one of the silks to pick, win, place, or show. This kind of addiction is difficult to cure. To cover the entire field is the only way to be sure. This hot house turbocharged for me to the nearest bar. In the clubhouse is where I ought to be. When the flag goes up, I have my beds down. Nothing else will matter till they come around. I have my fingers crossed till they cross that line. I hope I find my lady luck standing by my side.
Good.
'Cause I'm running wild.
Well, let it run.
I'm running wild. I'm running wild.
That's the payoff.
I'm running wild. I'm running wild. I'm running wild. That lucky number 7.
Good. Yeah, I wanted to play it through that. It's a really good hook at the end. I'm running wild, I'm running wild. And I love the way that vocal jumps up there. It really catches the listener's ear. It certainly caught mine, and I really like it a lot. Because I'm running wild, and that's the line everybody's going to remember, obviously, right? So what you do is work backwards from the payoff line. This is going to come up more than once today. Working backwards from the payoff line, the last line of the chorus. That's that line that's repeated there. That's the payoff line. It's the last line of the chorus, because I'm running wild, and it's repeated, which is great if the listener really gets a chance to hear it. What I'm going to say about this song, though, is the song itself is, I'm looking at the lyrics over here. That's why I'm not looking into the camera. The song itself is actually about a gambling addiction. I kept thinking this would be a metaphor. It's like we're at the post, we're taking off. Life is like this. We're running after trying to catch that gold ring. But it's not. It's never a metaphor. The whole song is, I'm at the racetrack and I'm betting and I hope Lady Luck smiles on me. And I'm not sure how relatable that's going to be to very many listeners. I think that you'll catch some if you want to go into a niche kind of thing where we're talking about sports betting, or you're talking about gambling in general, whatever it is that interests you. But I'm not sure you're going to have a lot of listeners for this. So because it didn't become a metaphor for life, I think you limit yourself to people who are interested in the racetrack and racing. I loved a couple of the lines about the horse smiles for the camera. I loved that. I actually met a horse one time who did that. It was called Affirmed. Affirmed always knew where the camera was. Watching Affirmed, that horse that won the Triple Crown back in the 70s, that horse knew where the camera was. Trust me. So for anything other than, let's say you get a bunch of fans who are really into the racing world, anything other than that, I think you're going to have a little bit of trouble. So if you wanted to work backwards from the chorus hook, which is I'm running wild, this lyric doesn't really talk about what that running wild. The horses aren't running wild. They're real disciplined. This guy is betting on them. He doesn't seem to be running wild. So I'm not sure that the payoff line really supports the rest of the lyric. And I would like to see you maybe give this a rewrite and see what you can do with that. Also, be careful about crowding syllables together. Cover the entire field was just this crowded bunch of syllables, and it happened several times during this song. So just be careful about that. But otherwise, I think you could have fun with this on social media. You could have fun putting some, video clips together with the song and putting it up on TikTok or putting it up on YouTube.
Or licensing it to Gamblers Anonymous. Somebody said something like that earlier. And I don't know if this is encouraging or discouraging people from gambling. I don't know. But there's always a niche market out there for everything.
Yeah, exactly. Niche markets can make you a lot of money if you know how to work them and where they are and how to get there. So Gamblers Anonymous, maybe not. But horse racing for sure, on-track betting, those kinds of things. You could approach some of the organizations that push that kind of thing and see if there's a place for it there.
Remember, we used to have a screener, I think at the time that you were head screener, whose name was Marcia, and she had spent like 10 years on a,
Marcia's willing. She still, she raises horses. Yeah, absolutely.
And she created a thing that was like a dating site for other horse lovers. And it was a tiny little niche, but it supported her nicely. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah, exactly. Forgotten about Marcia. That's right. That's really cool.
I still get emails from her.
She's great.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so this one's called I Need a Weekend. It's by Holland Nelson. Let's have a listen.
Okay.
"6 a.m. comes too soon. Yeah, I could have slept till noon. Pull the covers over my head. Just 10 minutes more in bed. Pick my clothes up off the floor. Gotta stumble to the door. Hey, the sun ain't even up. I need some mojo in my cup. Need a weekend, need some fun. Need some time out in the sun. Need to hang out in the park. Chill till it's almost dark. Yeah, I need a weekend. Oh, a weekend. Yeah, I need a weekend. Oh, a weekend.
Okay.
Boss man,
Good.
he don't crack a smile.
Good. I love the track. I love that cool, rhythmic, little bouncing along track. It just makes you feel like, got to get up, got to get out, and, do what I got to do and then get to the weekend. Really nicely done. I like her voice. I like the singer on this and the track a lot. This is a really interesting example, the first verse, of a detailed storyline of here's what I do on Monday morning. 6 a.m. comes too soon. Could have slept till noon. Pull the covers over my head. Very detailed. Just 10 minutes more in bed. Pick my clothes up off the floor. Then gotta stumble to the door. I think should be stumble out the bedroom door because you're still in the house. The sun isn't even up, and I need mojo in my cup. It seems like the singer's probably headed for the kitchen, unless you wanted to take them out of the house and over to Starbucks. Up to you. So it seemed like it wanted to go just a little bit longer in the house. Then you've got your pre-chorus: need a weekend, need some fun, need some time out in the sun. It's actually longer than I think it should be. I think the pre-chorus should be just 2 lines. Need a weekend, need some fun, need some time out in the sun. And then right into your chorus, yeah, I need a weekend. Ooh, I need a weekend. I like that payoff line, I need a weekend. And certainly the first verse walked us right up to it, which is really good. It's very tight, good focus. Where this thing seemed to go off track, the second verse, I'm just going to read you a little bit of this because it's very different. The voice of the singer suddenly, the lyric voice suddenly changed. The second verse, da boss man, he don't crack a smile. It's written like that. Da boss man, he don't crack a smile. Doesn't sound like the same singer speaking. Hangman on a jury trial. He got the chains, he got the cuff, 100 lashes ain't enough. It just got so dark all of a sudden. It's completely different from verse 1. And you've changed the character of the singer. And I don't think that girl, the girl singer with a very youthful voice, I just don't think she gets away with that second verse at all. So I think you need to take a look at, I would rewrite that second verse and show us what you do on the weekend. What is it that you're looking forward to so much? All we heard so far was just some fun and some time in the sun, hang out in the park and chill out till it's almost dark. It's pretty generic. So maybe you could take that second verse, replace what you've got and say, here's what I'm looking forward to. This, I can't wait to get to this. And make sure that the listener sees it and feels it just as you do. Okay? You want to show us what you feel. Why is this singer so desperate to get to the weekend? 8 to 5, watch the clock, walk the line, talk the talk. It's okay, the pre-chorus, second pre-chorus. But then you have that double chorus, I need a weekend, I need a weekend, I need a weekend. It's like 8 lines long, but we really haven't been moved to feel like we want a weekend. So that's kind of what you have to do there, is make Michael want a weekend, which I'm sure he does. And then it gets better. Let's hop a train, just me and you, where no one tells us what to do. That's your third verse. I would move that up to the second. and even punch that up a little bit more to make the listener feel what the singer feels. We can't get them to feel anything if we don't show them and tell them what to feel and make them feel it. So get us out in that part, get us out there having fun, and we'll feel it then, and we'll go, yeah, I want a weekend too.
What was the famous quote from Maya Angelou? They won't remember what you said, they'll remember how you made them feel.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Make me feel it by using comparisons and imagery and, get me involved in this. Show me what that weekend feels like. And I'll go, I want that too.
I really do.
I know you do. You must. I can't believe you're doing this today.
Do you
and
know,
tomorrow.
Ariana and I came back to the office last night somewhere around 8 o'clock and worked till like 10:30 last night getting all this stuff ready for today. She's a trooper.
I couldn't figure out when you were going to do it. Yeah. So when you said, Monday, I went, you're not even giving yourself a day. So this is dedication, folks. This is real dedication to you, bringing you the road rally experience, the best he can immediately. I thought that was pretty amazing. Couldn't wait for the weekend.
Or just really, really dumb. I kept saying to Ari yesterday, I'm never doing this again. So enjoy it, folks, because next year it ain't going to happen. Get your butt to the real road rally. Do you know that the audience for this year's road rally was just about equivalent to the 2019? 2019, I think we had 2,347 people. And last time I checked on Wednesday this week, we were at 2,214. It was still going up, and that was Wednesday. So by Friday, it probably hit 23, maybe went over. I was amazed. Frankly, I let go of some of the room block at the West End because I didn't think the turnout would be as strong as it was. Anyway, I was happy. I got to meet a lot of...
Really? Yeah?
I got to meet a lot of members that were part of the quarantini that, we would hang out with every day. And it was so great to meet them face to face and for them to meet each other.
And people who joined during years that we didn't have the live road rally had never met each other.
That's
and
right.
So we had a lot of new members there, I noticed. And it did look like about 2,000 people.
Yeah.
And everybody was really excited to be there. So that was wonderful. It was a lot of fun. But I'm glad you're doing this as well because people can't always be there. And you maybe next year just wait till the next weekend to do it.
Or just not do it at all. Sorry. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Well, let him know whether you want it or not, folks, in the chat room.
Oh, they're going to want it because they don't have to do the work. Come on. I'm charging $100 a head. There. Now do you want it? All right. Anyway, I'm getting giddy.
You are. Please, it's the end of the day. You get to go have dinner. Please Know More by Craig Hlady.
That's right. Let's have a listen.
Been helplessly hoping for what can be no more. At times I felt on top of the world, but it seems like years before. Along the way I've seen a lot of pain, and I've had my share of falls. There were times I sprinted up that hill, but now I can barely crawl. Since I've hit that wall, hard times hit like a ton of bricks, still wondering what will be my fix. I'm a broken mirror in pieces on the floor. Keep trying now to disavow this shattered life surrounds me now. What'll hit me next when it flies right through the door? Oh, please no more. Please no more. Please no more. Please
I like this payoff line. Please, no more. Please, no more. And the repetition of it. I think it could be a more hypnotic type of repetition. But whatever you choose to do, I thought it was good. At least the 3-time repetition. The 4th time felt like it was a little too much. But I really like that. And I think that the song lyric supports it well. Right from the opening line, I've been helplessly hoping for what can be no more. At times I felt on top of the world, but that seems like years before. That seems to get a little bit confusing. At times I felt on top of the world. Doesn't feel like it belongs in that first verse, but it seems like years before. I think we need to go to this idea of how things seem to be piling on, so that the singer has to sing, please no more, please no more. I can't take any more. That's what this song is about. And there are scenes like that in film and television. So I'm looking at this thinking, can this be used in film and TV? Because this type of scene is not uncommon. So I think that given the payoff line, if you're working backwards from it, you might want to be sure that every line supports that. And I'm going to, at times I felt on top of the world, in the 3rd line of your first verse is probably a little too soon to go there. Let's not confuse people. The other thing that's happening here is I think the chorus is a little long. Hard times hit me like a ton of bricks, still wondering what will be my fix. Not sure what be my fix is referring to, so I would probably rewrite that. Hard times hit me like a ton of bricks. Now I'm wondering if I'll ever be fixed. Is that what he means? Then the next line, I'm a broken mirror in pieces on the floor. That follows a line like, I'm wondering if I'll ever be fixed. The 2 lines that come after that, I keep trying now to disavow the shattered life that surrounds me now. It just seems like too much. You've got a beautiful emotional opening 2 lines, and then that great emotional, please no more, please no more. So here's what I would suggest for this chorus. Hard times hit me like a ton of bricks. Now I'm wondering if I'll ever be fixed. I'm a broken mirror on the floor. Please no more. Please no more. Please no more. For film and television, that's really all you need. If they bring that up at the end of a scene in which someone is just struggling to keep his head above water, that would work very effectively at the end of a scene like that. So watch out for overwriting. For film and television, the chorus can be fairly short, 4 lines. As long as it's really focused on the emotion and expressing emotion, 4 lines works real well for film and television. I also think that the line, since I've hit that wall, is probably a little too much. You could cut that line at the end of the verse. So less is more. When it comes to film and TV, often less is more. Okay, that's all I have to say about that one. Yeah.
Let's move on. This next one is called Don't Even, and it's by Ben Wolf.
Good title.
It is a great title. I'm moving a mouse on this computer, trying to make the cursor move on that computer.
Oh dear, I do it all the time. Do it all the time.
Here we go.
To blame why it ain't the same. I don't even know how to reignite the flame. When I look in your eyes, I don't even see you. I'm new, tired of waging this war. Yeah, it's cutting me to the core.
Good. Beautiful vocal. Yeah.
Fade it.
Yep. Yeah, beautiful vocal, beautiful track. Just right for this song that's sad, that's got a yearning, angsty feel about it, and the track is really supporting that kind of vulnerable intimacy that's in that vocal. Well done on the track and the vocal. Beautiful opening verse. I don't even know when it all changed, who is to blame, why it ain't the same. We get a real quick picture of the situation is, without being so specific that you were telling a story. So that's great. For film and television, this is right on target. I would say, again, it's interesting. Again, I'm looking at the payoff line, and the payoff line of the chorus is, I don't even know us anymore. Now, the verse seems to support that really well. I don't even know when it all changed. I don't even know us anymore. Who is to blame? Why it ain't the same? I don't even know us anymore. You can like put that line at the end of every line of the verse. You go straight to the payoff line. So that's really working very well. But we get to the chorus and things seem to go off the track a little bit. When I look in your eyes, I don't even see the you I knew. That's different. That's not us. I don't even know us anymore. That's you. You've changed. But I think this is us. And that's what the payoff line is saying. I don't even know, you're not even the you I knew. Tired of waging this war. Yeah, it's cutting me to the core. We don't know that there's a war here. It seems to be that two people have changed and they've grown apart. I don't even know us anymore. It just seems like this is not about a war. And cutting me to the core just seems like it's there for the rhyme. So I would take a look at this chorus and rework the chorus, and and then you're fine, because I don't even know us anymore. It's beautiful, but the war and the cut me to the core, that belongs in a verse. That doesn't belong in a chorus, because it's explaining too much, and we haven't been introduced to that in the verse at all. You could put it in a second verse and say this is a war, but I don't think that's what that payoff line is saying. So you could use something like, we've become strangers. We're just strangers living side by side. I don't even know us anymore. We don't talk, don't look each other in the eye. I don't even know us anymore. I don't even know, where do we go from here? In your second verse, you have this fabulous line. It's a new heartbreak frontier. I mean, do you want to put that in your chorus? You can. I don't even know, where do we go from here? It's a new heartbreak frontier. I mean, you could do that as your payoff line. And then you can write anything in the second verse about war and cuts me to the core and all that stuff. So you have some choices here that are really strong choices. This is a very good second draft of a lyric and a beautiful track, beautiful vocal. So if that's you singing and you can redo this, I think this is seriously worth working on. I think it's an excellent film and TV song. This is a very common scene. I don't know us. We're estranged. We come apart. That's a very common scene. And a song like this could definitely be used. So I would work on this. Seriously worth working on.
Amazing analysis. You continue to blow my mind. Wow. The fact that it comes to you so quickly and you're not regurgitating other people I know that are in the same ballpark as you. They've literally got like a bag of tricks and they regurgitate the same stuff over and over. You literally are feeling it. It's like,
yeah, I'm feeling it. I let the song talk to me.
Wow.
I feel what it is that the writer wants to say. And here's the thing. Thank you for bringing this up, because the thing is, as a writer, you have to feel it. You have to immerse yourself in the situation that you're writing about. If you immerse yourself, you'll be able to write about it authentically. If you don't, if you stay on the surface and you write from a distance and you're thinking about your craft, or you're writing about something and writing what you think you should say, or what the rhyme is telling you to say, we're going to talk about that more later on. What rhymes, I mean, then it's not going to work. Because then you've lost what it is you need to say. If you're talking to listeners, you need to talk to them honestly and stay right there with them and express what's happening for you in that moment. So that's what has to happen. I saw him go off the rails. He started to say one thing in that song, and then he went off the rails. And I think it was the rhyme that pulled him off, the waging of the war and cut me to the core. That's not what the situation is that he's in. And so he stepped outside the situation, and I did too. I went right with him. And listeners will do that.
How could anybody be as objective as you are, though, about their own material? Because that's probably, you can see it so objectively because you have no ownership,
Right. And I have perspective on it. Yeah. So the thing I tell people is use this thing I call the fresh ears test, which is when you're working on your song, don't work longer than an hour and a half. Stop. Record what you have. walk away, get it out of your head, go work on another song, go watch TV, whatever you're going to do. Come back when it's out of your head and you maybe heard some other music, go listen to some other songs. Then come back and listen to what you recorded as a listener with fresh ears. Make a list as you listen, a list of the things you want to change, and then change them, record it again, and then walk away again. Wait, get it out of your head, come back. It's the only way to keep perspective on what you're writing. And when you come back as a listener to something you've recorded, don't come back and sit down and play it, because then you're engaged in it. Then you're involved in it. You're playing guitar, you're singing. It's too much. You don't want to do that. Record it, come back and listen again and make a list of the things you want to change one, and then record it, walk away, come back. It's the fresh ears test, and it's the only way you can get perspective on your own song. It really works. It really works.
Amazing. Okay, next one up is by Robert Marino, and it's called I Got a Little Crush on You.
Please let me sing a cute little tune to you, my dear. Oh, won't you let me in here? See, here's the thing, to tell you the truth about you, my dear, and I'll be perfectly clear. Ooh, I got a crush, why don't you give a guess on who? But please hurry up, don't you dare play it cool. So answer me do, 'cause baby, I got a little crush on you. Yes, I do. Don't you know it's only me for you now? Close your eyes and open your mind and dream a sweet dream of peaches and wine. Then sip my lips about 1,000 times. Then maybe all yours, then you'll be on mine. Please let me bring love and so true to you, my dear. Oh,
I don't want it to end.
I know, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's a great track, simple jazz infused track that just perfectly underscores that vocal. It's the right singer for the track. The lyrics are right in the style for that character and for that time period. Don't you dare play it cool. Answer me do, 'cause baby, I got a little crush on you. It's really well done. Yeah. It's a sweet song, and everything about it in terms of stylistically is working. I would say a lovely track. This could be source music in a cabaret or nightclub scene, the kind of thing that would be playing while this, the detective in the film noir is in the back, the stage and sorting out the murder mystery or whatever. There's a chanteuse out there on the stage singing, and this would work great for something like that. So there's definitely room for it. So I would say, because this sounds to me like a completed track with a completed vocal for sure, that you could pitch this just as is, and see if you can get a music library to take it in to pitch as source music. You don't hear it done this well very often.
I think, honestly, I think that this could be used in montages. This could have been in, really old movie, but when Harry met Sally, the first time they hung up after texting back and forth or chatting back and forth, I got a crush on you. This is, in my opinion, this is eminently syncable. I could pick up the phone and call 5 libraries right now that would all fight over this one.
Good. I agree. And I think you're right. You made it a broader potential for placements than I had gone to. So I think you're right about that. Good. I wouldn't change anything. If anything, I would love to hear that hook. Oh, I got a crush. I got a little crush on you. I'd like to hear it more often in the song. But like Michael says, if it's used underneath a montage or it's, there's something visually going on, you'll be fine with it just as it is. Well done, and good luck with this one.
Yeah, that one's going to get placed. I love it. If the writer, Robert Marino, if you would reach out to me between Christmas and New Year's and remind me of this song, I can think of a particular library owner that I think would take this in a heartbeat. That would be the right kind of library for you to be in if you are so desirous. Right. Anyway, okay, this one is called Loving Life. It's by Rick Keeler, let's have a listen. Oops. There we go.
There comes a time when things just work out. Life's been sweet along the way, so I celebrate the good times, reflect on the bad. My life's been happier than sad. It's a good, good feeling, feeling inside. It's a good, good feeling. I cannot lie, loving life and living a life of love. Loving the life, living the life I love. Whoa.
Good.
Living the life
Love
I
it.
love.
Another super track and a great vocal. I love that Caribbean laid back feel. It just underscores this lyric very, very well. The singer is the right character to be singing this song. Everything's working together for film and TV. I could definitely hear this. Both as background to create a vibe for a Caribbean type show or scene, but also I could hear this actually right underneath, up full underneath a beach scene, a montage, as Michael was talking about. I think it's a very strong, good, feel-good song, and there aren't enough of those. I know that libraries really like to get those. Love that chorus, loving the life I'm living. Great, great hook. Living a life of love, loving the life, living the life I love. It's a beautiful, simple chorus that could get a lot of uses. I would say there's nothing I would redo here. It's never too late to say what's inside. I think could be a little bit more, tell the ones that you love them, a little bit more defined, but that's not going to stop this song from getting placed. What do you think, Michael? Agree?
There was something about it that felt like the missing 10%. And the whole time you were talking, you didn't touch on it and I couldn't identify it. More probably in the production or in the mix, not in the song itself. Oh. Something that just felt like it was just like a little too light, like it needed, pardon the expression, it needed a little more balls. And you can still have a more ballsy approach to even something like this. Like maybe it was not digging in on the guitar and the backbeat or something. I don't know. I'm a little vacuous today from the weekend, but I thought, this is a really good song too. More cowbell. There you go. That's the right suggestion, Ronnie.
More cowbell.
Yeah.
I see what you mean about on the upbeats, on the 2 and the 4, just giving it a little more bite there.
Yeah.
It is a little floaty, but it's so beautiful. I mean, it could work, but yeah, you could give it a little more edge there in the track just by adding something.
It's a little too polite. Melodically, lyrically, spiritually, it's all there. It just felt a little like, anyway. You know me, can't take the producer out of the boy. Okay, this one is called Drink Up, and it is by Dan Weber.
Said she asked me for a drink and then she gave a little
Okay. It's got some great hard rock chestnuts in it. I mean, it just rocks away, and it's very familiar. It's got lots of that heavy metal stuff in it. The '80s, the hair bands, all of that stuff is there, and it's kind of a ZZ Top sort of thing. And I got a big kick out of it. I thought that the lead vocal could be mixed a little more forward, actually, bring it out of the track a little bit, because it's actually a very funny song. And one thing I would like to recommend is there's the chorus, "Getting busy with me until 2:45." You know, we both got liquored up. That's the beginning of the chorus. I think you could go ahead and put the full chorus in after verse 1. You just go to drink up. You know, I had to say drink up. That's all you do after the first verse. Then you do the second verse and then the full chorus. I think you could put the full chorus after that first verse. It's really good, and I think the listener needs a break after the very tick-tocky vocal, the eighth note, da, 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 da. I think the listener needs a break after that. So just try it. Go ahead and do it like a digital edit and just put that up there right after. Just then she asked me for a drink, and then she gave a little wink. And then I think you could put your chorus right in there, but I'm not sure. I just feel like it wants a little more, maybe half of the chorus. But then we get back to verse 2, and the song continues on. Next night, we're back in it, picking up where we left off. I mean, it's just this story song about the people who are drinking and getting it on. And it's very long. I wouldn't double the chorus at the end. I don't know whether there's, I don't know what the market would be for this. It's not country. You could, I think you could just do a fun video to this and put it up on YouTube. It'd be a good TikTok, good social media. Because you can't use it for film and TV because it tells too much of a story here. And so I think we'd be kind of stuck with that. Social media is a third market now. And TikTok itself is a market unto itself. And this type of song would do quite well at TikTok, I think. And get it and find its fan base. If you've got more like this, you could find your fan base over at TikTok, put up a bunch more, and you could really get some action out there from people who love this style and can't hear it anyplace else.
All right. Next one is Workin. This is by Carolina Loveless. Beautiful name.
Mm-hmm. And a great voice.
Perhaps you're here to forget your day, your week, your year. The politician screaming in your ear. Welcome you. Perhaps you're here to dance about and let it out. Play some air guitar and get out of your head. Wanna see if I can help you there, friend? I got the boys out working, out on the road again, yeah. Me and the boys are working, playing every night we can. I got the boys out working, out on the road again, yeah. Me and the boys are working, out on the road again, all around the world, man. So show some love to the girl in the band who never left.
I love that line. Look at it. I wanted to just play it into that second verse because I love this line. So show some love to the girl in the band who never left. That was the first line where I began to get what the song was about. And I thought that it was really, it's a song about a band, a hard-working band that just gets out on the road, and she's the driving force behind it, which I thought was great. The female blues rock niche is really a good place to be. There isn't a ton of good competition. I assume this is you singing, Carolina, and man, you've got the voice for it. And I really, really like it. I think you should be looking at Dorothy and a couple of the other blues rockers like the Kills and the female lead singers in these bands, Band of Skulls, those kinds of things. And just keep pushing this this idea. This song, I would like to see you make it clearer what's happening in that very first verse. You spend the time talking about perhaps you're here to forget your day, your week, your year, the politician screaming in your ear. By the time you get to that third line, I would be talking about we're here to make you forget. Rather than taking it from her imagining what the audience is doing there, I would say she's saying, we're here, I'm here to help you forget your day, your week, your year. That politician screaming in your ear, welcome you. Music's here to dance and, let it all out. Right from the beginning, let us know that this is a band, that she's the lead singer in that band, so that we don't get into that chorus without knowing it. I really didn't have any idea what was going on. In the chorus, there's a lot of repetition, which means there's actually room for you to add more information. Usually I don't like to see a lot of information going on in the chorus. I'll say, no, put that in the verse. But here, I think we need more in case the listener doesn't get it in that first verse. I got the boys out working. I would say me and the boys, which you do in a minute, me and the boys out working, out on the road again, like you've got. Me and the boys out playing every night we can. Me and the boys in the band, playing all the music we can. Just make it clear that this is the band, she's the lead singer, they're out on the road working, playing. They're out on the road playing music. It's got to be clear, or the listener's just going to be sitting there going, what's she talking about working? By that time, I wasn't clear. I was listening to her say, I got the boys out working. I thought, how do you, what is going on here? Me and the boys are working. At what? I needed more information. And so I would seriously take a look at reworking this chorus and some of the lyrics. By the time you get to show some love to the girl in the band who never left, you could actually open with that. Didn't get that day job or grow that up, and show some love to the boys in the band who've been here. I think that's your first verse. And then you go into your chorus. We're on the road every night, every day. We're bringing music because we love to do that, even though it's a miserable life, but we never gave up. We never gave up. I never got a day job. I never grew up. I really love that line. So I think there's a lot here. And you could look at something like Dorothy, the blues rock kind of band, or you could be looking at Gin Wigmore. You've got that kind of voice too. And Gin Wigmore is very popular in film and television. That's what I would do. Is take a look at getting more in there that explains exactly what she's talking about, because it's a really good idea. It won't go to film and TV, but that's okay. This is an album cut for you as an artist, you and the band.
And that voice.
Isn't it?
It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
Talk about authenticity and just like instantly identifiable. And it's like you want to hang out with that singer. She's cool.
Yeah, when you've got a voice like that, you've got film and television because it's a character voice. And you've got radio. You've also got Spotify.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a voice that people really love. So keep on working in this vein, in this style of song. Go for the blues rock thing. Look at the other female blues rockers because there's just not enough. And there's plenty of room in there for you to get into film and TV, get yourself up on Spotify, get that music out there. Good.
But back in the early 70s, there was a song that made its way around the underground of the music industry and other people in New York City. It was called Stickball. And it was about growing up a kid on the street in New York playing stickball with the other guys. I'm recommending that you listen to this only because it's of a... you'll hear the connection when you hear it. It's just got that same kind of raw charm that this song and your voice have. And I haven't heard anything like Stickball since I heard this today, and it's been 50 years. So there you go.
Great. I'll go listen to it. Okay.
Oh, you'll laugh your butt off. You
I
will.
don't know it.
It's somebody famous actually did it, but not under their own name. And it was like people in Bruce Springsteen's camp and some famous session players. There's some mythology about it. Anyway.
Check it out on Wikipedia.
Yeah. All right. This one's called Lost Not Found. Cool title. Let's have a listen.
Yeah, the light came slowly when your smile flickered out. Took a long time coming, was a look that raised no doubt. Oh, that burning desire left its ember smudge on me, and I'll twist it, running away.
Whoops. So sorry, that was me.
Yeah, the light came slowly when your smile flickered out. Took a long time coming, was a look that raised no doubt. Oh, that burning desire left its ember smudge on me, and our twisted romance, but you were long gone already. Well, I've got this down, got this down, got this down for good. Well, I've got this down, lost not found, help me drown for good. Saving face, full erase, so misunderstood. Left around, let me down, hell I knew you would. Lost, not found. Lost, not found. Said you didn't know me, and the way I'd misbehave. Spent a long time.
Well, that high took me higher and sudden drop was low. I'm just looking at the lyric because I'm trying to understand what you mean by lost, not found. You resolved all the blinders. Now we're both going solo. I got this down. I got this down. I've got this down. Lost, not found. Help me drown for good. I can't, as a listener, I can't find where this hooks up. You know, where one line leads into another, and what the hook title line means. So the listener's kind of on the outside looking in. I think one of the things that's happening here, and the reason that that's happening, is because the rhymes are leading you to say things you don't mean. And this is for everybody, because we all do it sometimes, especially when we're kind of starting out. But what you did was give yourself a really tight rhyme scheme. Really tight rhyme schemes are killer. They kill you. But they're really, I mean, they're great when they work, but they're really hard to do because you have to have the discipline to make every line rhyme, and yet you only maybe only have 3 words or 4 words before the next phrase, and it has to rhyme, and it has to rhyme. And so what happens is we end up writing to the rhyme instead of writing what we mean, and we just can't afford to do that. So I was just doing at the road rally, I used a song by Jason Aldean that's a current country hit called Trouble with a Heartbreak. And he does that right in the middle of the verse and also in the middle of the chorus. He has this series of tight rhymes with short lines. He sings, get out on this town, meet somebody new, get lost in a crowd, all I see is you. And yet every line follows, it tracks smoothly so that it just sounds like something you would say. It makes sense and it moves the song along. So it has to do, when you're doing tight rhyme schemes, you have to have all those things. It has to make sense, it has to sound conversational, and it has to move the song along. So you can't have just, saving face, full erase, so misunderstood, left around, let me down, hell I knew you would. I get the second half of that, let me down, hell I knew you would. I get that. But saving face, full erase, so misunderstood. I can't follow it. And so I think that when we're writing to the rhyme, folks, and every once in a while I often hear lines that are written to the rhyme, instead of lines that say what you need to say and want to say. If you do that, if you follow the rhyme, you'll lose your listeners. It's better to not rhyme than to say something you don't mean and don't want to say. And that comes back to that idea of being authentic, of being authentically in the moment. When you're writing to the rhyme, you're not in the moment, you're in the rhyme. And I've never known a listener who said, oh, I've got to hear that song again. That rhyme was so good. That just doesn't, rhymes are there for a reason. They're there to resolve, to give the listener a sense of resolution. They're there to emphasize a word. They're there to finish a thought. That's what rhymes are there for. They have a real reason. If you're not doing one of those 3 things, then you shouldn't rhyme. Just don't rhyme. You don't have to. Paul Simon didn't always rhyme, and he was pretty good. So the other thing you can do is look with vowel rhymes now, where you don't have to have perfect rhymes like you're looking for here sometimes. Saving face, full erase, That's a perfect rhyme, but you don't need it. You can rhyme any long A word with that. So you've got something, it's on the chorus. I've got this down, lost not found. I mean, there's a lot more owl rhymes that you could put in there, like now, ground, loud. You can even rhyme down, lost not found with hot, not got. You can get pretty close. You don't have to have exact rhymes. Something like was a look that raised no doubt. That doesn't even make sense. Took a long time coming. Was a look that raised no doubt. When your smile flickered out. Took a long time coming. Was a look that raised no doubt. It seems like it raised doubt, or it was a look that, left me in no doubt. Or you don't have to use doubt at all. You can rhyme something else that makes more sense and keeps you and the listener in that moment, that authentic moment of this is what's happening to me as a singer. The minute you leave that, the listener leaves it too.
Wow. There's a book in the last 5 minutes. Go back and watch this someday and just take notes of what you just said. You could do at least 4 or 5 chapters on what you just said.
It's in my books. I mean, I talk about the 3 reasons to rhyme, and if you're not doing one of those 3 reasons, then you don't rhyme. And I even do a thing on here's some songs that didn't rhyme. Suzanne Vega wrote Tom's Diner. It doesn't rhyme. Paul Simon, America, it doesn't rhyme.
All right, I have a little update on the song Stickball. Apparently, it's a not safe for work early 70s novelty song. It does have a lot of cursing. Everybody who's got a sick, demented sense of humor, would appreciate a good laugh at something really old and funky, needs to listen to this. Okay. And Lovely Bones, no, your song doesn't sound anything like it, but there was something in the rawness of the vocal and the authenticity of the vocal reminded me of the vocal approach in the song. But everybody go have a laugh. Listen to Stickball go to dangerousminds.net. Check out Stickball after the show, 12, 13 minutes from now. And don't let any kids hear it when you listen, because it just keeps getting dirtier and dirtier, is my recollection.
Headphones, folks.
Yeah, I haven't listened to this since like maybe 1979 or something. Anyway. All right.
I don't think there's anything on the radio anymore that isn't explicit.
Yeah, that's true. By today's standard, you're right. This would be like something they would teach in sex ed for 3rd graders or something.
There you go.
All right. This one's called Running Around My Head by Jeff Carson.
Top down, riding around this old town. Radio turned up, football, late in the fall. Hanging with y'all, late after the moon's up. Then graduation came and we took separate paths. That was all so long ago, I just have to ask, do you ever think of me, baby? Come on, tell me, do it cross your mind? Do you ever think of me, darling? 'Cause you're running around my head after all this time. It's got me out of my mind.
Good. Love that payoff line. He just did something really good. There's a lot that's really good in this song. After all this time, pause, has got me out of my mind. It makes the listener wait for it. Now I'm paying it off. And when you do that, there's different ways of giving payoff lines more weight, and this is one of them. Put a pause in there, make people wait for it. Another one is to repeat it. That gives it more weight. So you want to give that payoff line weight, because that's where you want listeners to remember that line. It's the heart and soul of your song. It sums up what the song is about. After all this time, it's got me out of my mind. Okay, beautifully done on that payoff line. This is a great example of just what I was just talking about, and he's doing it very well. The rhyming issue here, top down, riding around this old town, radio turned up. football late in the fall, hanging out with y'all late after the moon's up. So that's some tight rhyming there, and everything makes sense. Everything sounds conversational. It sounds just like the singer just thought of it. That's exactly what you want to do with your rhymes. So excellent work there, Jeff. Then graduation came. We took separate paths. That was also long ago. I just have to ask. And there's a nice fresh rhyme for you, paths and ask. The chorus is where I think you could do a little more work. If you're really going to aim for contemporary country, which is what it sounds like you're aiming for, then I think the chorus has to be stronger. So this is an excellent draft of a good contemporary country song that wants to be pitched out to Nashville publishers for covering by some of the big artists. If you're going to do that, then I would take a look at this chorus. Do you ever think of me, baby? Come on, tell me, do I cross your mind? Beautiful opening. Do you ever think of me, darling? I wouldn't be repeating that. Okay, now the trick is in these choruses in contemporary country, we need to keep the listener involved while repeating and burying the lines.
Sorry.
Do you ever? It's okay. I know you're not bored. It's okay.
I'm just exhausted. Yeah.
He gets to go home and have dinner now. Do you ever think of me, baby? Come on, tell me, do I cross your mind? I would change up the lyric on the next line, but keep the melody the same as your opening, just as you're doing with the melody. Next line should be something else. Do you ever think, come on, do I cross your mind? Late at night when, are you dreaming of me? Something slightly different. You're running around in my head. And after all this time has got me out of my mind. I think you need more beef in that chorus, not only in the lyric, but you also need it in the melody. So don't come to a full stop at the end of your first line. Do you ever think of me, baby? Come on, tell me, do I cross your mind? If you ever, do you ever think of me, darling? Keep those lines cascading one over the other. Take a look at the Jason Aldean song, Trouble with a Heartbreak. It's a brilliant melody, chorus, some contemporary country melody, all the way through, and you listen to him, those lines just running one over the other, out over the other. He will even do something like he says something, he does, that's the trouble with a heartbreak, it's going to hang around, leave you midnight breaking down, wondering how. Next line starts right away, long that it's going to take. He doesn't even, he keeps that lyric suspended at the end of that third line, breaking down, wondering how, end of the second line, wondering how long that it's going to take. Getting over her, it's a can't drown, whiskey down, kind of hurt. Every line just cascades over the line before. You need that kind of momentum and energy in these contemporary country choruses. This is what listeners now expect to hear, and we have to give it to them. So if you're not, I see this as a solo write by Jeff Carson. If you haven't got a co-writer and you really want to do contemporary country, then I would suggest maybe finding somebody who can really focus with you on the melody to get this melody up. Listen to melodies by Jeffrey Steele. I mean, the guy could write a melody, what was the one that Rascal Flatts did? The Hertz. I can't remember the exact title. Yeah, it was their first big hit.
Yeah.
These things.
He also did My Town. That was another great. What?
What hurts the most?
Yeah, What Hurts the Most.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What hurts the most? That's Jeffrey Steele.
Yep.
Man, he did the lyric, and the guy he wrote with wrote the melody, and it is magnificent. So check out some of these big country hits. "Slow Down Summer" by Thomas Rhett is another one, and you'll hear these kinds of melodies over and over. If you don't mind me giving a little plug for my website, if you will see me doing a song guide on the Jason Aldean and the "Slow Down Summer," the Thomas Rhett song. I wrote song guides analyzing both of those songs, melody, lyrics, chords, on my website, robinfrederick.com. Pop on over there, click on Study the Hits, and you'll find those in the list. And just walk through them, and you'll see what contemporary country melodies are doing. I got about 50 songs there. So if you want song guides that do what I do, you can check it out. It's because I do this a lot, Michael. That's how come I can do this.
I've watched you get better and better and better over the years.
I have gotten better. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but Jeffrey Steele is an old friend of mine. Like I call him and hang out with him kind of friend. And I've got to tell you, what makes his songs so authentic is he is authentic. He is just the real deal. And the funny part is he comes from Van Nuys. He didn't grow up in Texas or Nashville, or Oklahoma. He's from Van Nuys, and he had a band called Boy Howdy. He wanted to be a rock star, somehow ended up writing country. But when you listen to his lyrics, it's like when you hang out with him, same guy.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes. You interviewed him. I put that interview in the back of my book, in the ebook.
That's right.
It's in the back of one of the ebooks, and it's a brilliant interview with him. He talks about how authentic he's just himself. He talks about doing that, exactly that. Yeah.
Do you know, right after 9/11, we had him as the keynote for the road rally.
I remember.
And he said to me, do you mind? I said, would you do me a favor? Let's do something to bring people back out of the doldrums of 9/11. Let's do a concert in the lobby of the Westin. And he said, okay. And I said, I've got a bunch of my screeners or like A-list session players here in LA. I will have them learn like 4 or 5 year songs. And I paid them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to do like weeks of rehearsal to get ready. And he goes, Laskow, no, just let me do it on my acoustic guitar. And I'm like, no, I already paid the guys. They've already rehearsed. Tell you what, is we will have them play one song with you, and if you're not feeling that they're up to the task, because I know you hang out with Nashville's finest, and that's hard to beat, but I'm going to sit like 6 feet away from you, and if you're not feeling it, you just give me a nod, and I'll say, thank you, guys, and I'll walk them off stage. They would have killed me. Anyway, he gave me a wink and a thumbs up, and he ended up playing a concert that was literally like something people would pay hundreds of dollars to go see in the lobby of the hotel. But the best part was like Asiana Airlines or Japan Airlines, some Asian airline had a bunch of adorable flight attendants there clapping along in their very like Asian inspired looking outfits to this country guy. And it was just a moment, I mean, you had to be there, but wow, that was one of the rally's greatest moments ever. Anyway, all right, we've got time for one more. Let's have a listen. This one is called Skinny Jean Bonfire by Stephanie Atkins.
You're gonna okay. All right.
What, am I missing one?
Yeah, He Loves Me by Bobby Deitch.
Oh, would you I thought I had.
I know Bobby, and
All
it's
right.
a beautiful song, and I don't have any feedback, so just play a little
Okay,
because it's so good.
fair enough.
Wait till you hear this lyric.
Daisy from the earth. Let me see what love is really worth. Try to tear the petals from your heart. Dig beneath the flower to the root. Don't you know my love is absolute? I can't stand the pain when we're apart. Stay to hide. I gotta put you on the spot. I need to know just where we stand. One day here, next day there. You keep your love buried somewhere and hide your heart beneath the sand. He loves me. He loves me now. He loves me. He loves me now. He loves me. He loves me now. He loves me.
Good. Beautifully done. Beautiful jazz influenced song, singer-songwriter, but jazz R&B. Very, very nice. And one of the things I just wanted people to hear was an extended metaphor that's used beautifully, this idea of picking a daisy from the earth. That's the very first line, and the whole rest of the song balances and goes back and forth between this idea of the earth, the sand, the root, the solidity, and what this other person is doing, constantly leaving, constantly going away. It parallels the metaphor. He's using this language that's very metaphorical and very imagistic, and yet he's talking about something that you really understand. The writer is talking about something that you really understand. It's very clear. It's a very sophisticated lyric, and it's paired with a very mellow, well-crafted track. And right from the first line, every single line, tear the petals from your heart. It's just constantly flipping between this metaphor of the flowers and the earth and your heart and what you're doing. So beautiful, very sophisticated, Bobby. And I thought you did a great job on that.
All right. Last but not least, Margot, I see you posting in the chat that you're so bummed out, but we literally picked them randomly. And I'm sorry you didn't get picked, but I guarantee you there were dozens of other people that didn't get picked. We just can't put everybody, we'd be here till midnight. I'm so sorry, but you know what? It's life. There are other times, other chances. So,
well, use some of the stuff that we've been talking about and try applying that to your own song. Because a lot of times what I'm doing is I'm telling you, this is what you should do, and they're doing it right, or this is what you could do to strengthen your song. Apply that. You don't need me always to tell you stuff.
Yeah, there you go. We had over 100 submissions, and we're covering 15 today. So there's 85% of what was submitted that didn't get listened to. We don't give out participation medals. You just got to keep running the race. All right, here we go. This one's called Skinny Jean Bonfire. It is by Stephanie Atkins. Whoops. I messed up.
You once just right, all I poured my hopes in. Now all we do is fight, and the goddamn zipper's broken. I ran miles and miles each day, too on for far too long. Swore that I would find a way to get you full jeans on. And I can't go to the party, I'll be laughed right out the door. You were all that I was starving, sweating my ass off for. Won't somebody tell me what all this means? Why I'm only somebody when I'm wearing size 3 jeans?
Good. There you go. Good. It's a very strong theme. It's a very powerful theme, and it's certainly timely. The idea that you're, especially a female, you're not somebody, why I'm only somebody when I'm wearing size 3 jeans. It's a very interesting way to do it. She's actually talking to the jeans. You were once just right. All I poured my hopes in. Now all we do is fight. You and your god denim zippers broken. It's very clever, and it has some humor in it. What I'd like to see is she, by the end of the song, folks, she gets to the place where she says, why I'm always trying to see. She says, where's my self-acceptance? What if someday I slept in, ate cake on my birthday, then what would you say? Would it be such a tragedy not to want the body I've got? Till somebody tells me what all this means, I'll learn to love my selfie and I'll burn you size 3 jeans. But I think it takes us too long to get there. I think the humor is charming at the beginning, and then it sort of spends a lot of time in the middle worrying and asking, won't somebody tell me what all this means? I don't think you can wait for somebody to tell you that. I think that earlier than this, you need to get to the till somebody tells me what all this means, I'll learn to love myself. I would listen to Colby Caillat's song, a wonderful song called Try, to get a feeling for how to write this so that it isn't, she doesn't sound whiny. The singer sounds like she's making that progress. She's doing it. She's standing up for herself. And I think right about the time we finish with that first chorus, I think we've heard enough of the I can't go to the party, I'll be laughed right out the door. You were all that I was starving and sweating my ass off for. It's great writing. It's great writing. But once we get past that chorus that follows that line, won't somebody tell me? Why is she waiting for somebody to tell her? I think at that point, I think she has to take control. Otherwise, she becomes weak. And this type of song with a weak female is not exactly what listeners want to hear these days. It's there, but she keeps going. I live life out on the sidelines, stay out till I'm size 3. By this time we're kind of getting, hey, stop doing that. Just don't do it. Follow diet guidelines, just hold out, being me. If the jeans don't fit, I won't fit in. Oh, come on, stop. So I think that that's happening about halfway through, and it's got a great beginning and a great end. And I think you just need to take a look at that middle to show us her shift in her own attitude earlier in the song than the end. It's good. It's got a lot of potential. It's a very cute alt country song, probably. And there you go. I think it has a lot of potential. Okay.
I've known you forever. I'm amazed every single time. I never finish a session with you going, that's pretty good. Frickin' amazing. Promise me you'll listen to Stickball tonight and laugh your ass off.
I will.
And
I
remember,
will
everybody, you can find it at whatever I said, .net. Where'd it go? Here we go. Dangerousminds.net, Stickball. There are other Stickballs out there, not to be confused with this one. It's a one of a kind.
Yeah.
And make sure the kids aren't in the room. Robin, you're amazing. You did amazing at the Road Rally. How you had
everything I'm talking about is in those books. I'm not saying anything that isn't there, because with examples, because that's what it's all about. Is everything that makes it stronger for the listener is what you should look at doing. You don't have to do it. Just look at doing it. Think about doing it. Try it. If it doesn't work for you, throw it out. If it works, keep it.
Yep.
And that's what we're always aiming for, is something that's keep the listener by your side, keep them involved, keep them interested, because you've got plenty to say. Every single one of these songs had a strong theme, had something to say I really wanted to hear. So make sure that the listener hears you.
I'm looking, I don't have the right postcard, but you know that you can get Robin's ebooks. This is, there you go. I don't even know if this offer is still available or not, where you buy two get one. It's not, but anyway,
complicated.
It's complicated. The 3 ebooks together are $30, and it's like 900 and some odd pages of Robin's wisdom. And I've said since the day I first agreed to publish these books is that you don't read them cover to cover. You keep them handy. When you get stuck, when you don't have it in your mind, when you have a brain freeze, writer's block, you can't finish a thought, you can't finish a line, you can't find the rhyme, that's when you open the book and the ideas start to flow. It's like literally having Robin sitting next to you on call whenever you need her.
Yeah, and I put in examples so you can go hear how another song did it. And that to me, there it is. And that to me is the real gold in the book, is go listen to it. See how it worked in that song. See if you want to do it. Again, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. But these are successful songs. And that's where that's where the gold is go listen to it. See if you want to do it.
And yes, you can buy these shirts online. We don't keep them at the office. They're on demand. Ari, do you know the link to the store for shirts?
Sorry, what?
The link for the shirts?
Mm-hmm. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Ariana's going to put it in the chat. Thanks.
Okay.
And
my
you guys,
pleasure.
Oh, it was our pleasure to have you. And remember, tomorrow we start at 10 a.m. And then we're going into How to Mix Orchestrals, a master class with my friend Dennis Sands, who is one of the 2 world's leading mixers of major motion pictures. I mean, his resume is unimaginable. The films that this guy has mixed the scores for. And it's so funny because if he were your 8th grade science teacher, you'd totally believe it. But I've known this guy since 1977. He's the coolest guy, just totally unassuming. And what a brilliant man. And then we're doing Succeeding in Sync with the Music Library's Perspective with Pat Weaver, who is the co-head of BMG Production Music. And as Robin well knows, Pat Weaver is one of the coolest people around. She's just so grounded, knows the film and TV music industry like the back of her hand. Then we're at 1:15. We're going to do Writing Production Music for TV with Steve Barden. I picked a chapter of his book, and we're focusing on that. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to be there to see it. And then from 3 to 4, we're going to redo How Many Tracks Do You Need to Earn a Full-Time Sync Income with Keith LeBrant. We did it a couple months ago and just had terrible, terrible audio problems. And I was so upset because It was such an informative episode. The guy's got some ridiculous, like, I can't remember if it's 100,000 placements, 300,000. I mean, you hear the number and you think he's lying. He's not. So you don't want to miss that. Followed by Jason Bloom's Songwriting Power Tools for 2022. And then we close out with How to Turn a Good Idea into a Great Song with Jai Joseph. So film and TV and songwriting tomorrow. See you guys back here at 10 a.m. sharp. Don't be late, or we're coming to your house to wake you up. That's it for me. Over and out. Ariana, thanks. Long day. And it's going to be another long one tomorrow. And then, woo, party time. Thanks, you guys. Have a great night. See ya in the morning. Bye.